Good evening. I'm Tom Ellis, and this is a special presentation of News Center 5. President Carter, along with several hundred politicians, celebrities, and friends of the Kennedy family, was in Boston yesterday for the dedication of the John F. Kennedy Library. It was a day given over to the memory of the late president, and it was a time, perhaps, to reflect on the ideas and hopes that John and his brother Bobby had for this country. President Carter agreed to be interviewed by 4 members of the Boston TV medium before his departure. But the White House asked us not to televise this interview until this evening, so as not to overshadow the celebrations at the library. We present for you now a conversation with the President.
Hello, I'm Earl Fell of the Christian Science Monitor. With me today to interview President Jimmy Carter are Tom Ellis of station WCVB-TV, Channel 5 in Boston, Jim Scott of WBZ Channel 4, Mary Richardson of WNAC-TV, Channel 7, and Christopher Lydon of WGBH-TV, Channel 2. Tom Ellis.
Thank you, Mr. Fell. Mr. President, first I'd like to welcome you to New England again, and thank you for giving us this time to ask a few questions. There have been some political developments this week of significance, beginning with your good showing in Florida, the announcement by Senator Kennedy's people that they're about to form an organization which most feel is tantamount to his formal announcement, the endorsement of Senator Kennedy by the governor of Maine, the first governor in the nation to do that. And in view of all of that, plus the earliness of the primaries in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, I'm wondering how this will affect your own personal timetable. Can you tell us today that you will be a candidate for re-election?
I'll be making an announcement on December 4th. I was pleased with this week. The Florida results were very encouraging to us, and it was a pretty hot contest with a lot of second-hand involvement. I didn't go into campaign, neither did Senator Kennedy, but our surrogates were there. A lot of enthusiasm, a fairly high participation, and I thought the 2-to-1 margin that we achieved was gratifying. I think the time that I'll spend in the next year on politics will be adequate, but of course, as president, I won't have time to campaign as I did in 1975 and 1976 when it was an absolutely full-time job for me. But I look forward to it with a great deal of interest and anticipation and confidence.
One of the pressing issues here in New England, and we've already had an early taste of winter, is the subject of number 2 home heating oil.
Yes.
We've heard you give assurances in other parts of the country that we will have adequate supplies of home heating oil this winter. The fellow I buy home heating oil from has been in business for 30 years, and he tells me that because of tight credit, allocations, and the price, quite a few of his customers won't have oil if we get a severe cold spell this winter. I'm wondering if you can assure us here today in New England that we will have adequate supplies and that the people who can't afford to pay 90 cents a gallon for it will still be reasonably warm this winter.
Yes, we set 2 goals for ourselves late in the spring when home heating oil supplies were very low, quite a bit below last year. The first commitment that I made in Portsmouth, New Hampshire at a town hall meeting was that in October we would have 240 million barrels of home heating oil on hand in storage, ready to go to homes throughout the New England area and throughout the country by the end of October. We've already reached that goal. Last year, during a fairly severe winter, we had a total consumption, I think, of 233 million barrels. So we've got enough home heating oil on hand. The second commitment I made was to do something about helping families to meet the rapidly increasing cost of home heating oil. We took the initiative, went to the Congress quite early. As you know, OPEC has increased prices 60% since last December, and it's been an extraordinary burden on the entire nation, and it's coming on homeowners in this winter. We've not yet been able to get the bill through Congress, but we've been pushing it day and night. And I think the arousing of interest on the part of people in New England, particularly in the rest of the country, has caused Congress lately to begin to move. I can make a flat statement predicting, as sure as anything is in politics and government, that there will be a decision made by Congress to support the proposal that we made, and that people will have the help for low-income families to meet the needs that are brought about by the increased cost of oil. We are asking this year for $1.6 billion to help low-income families, and we are also asking the Congress during the next 10 years to allocate $2.4 billion per year. And I can assure you that the Congress will act favorably on this legislation.
Jim Scott.
Mr. President, a